What is good, people? Satsuki the Savage here, and today is going to be a video on everybody's favorite blonde, Mary Saotome. This is going to be another character recap just like the Yumiko video, although this video will be a lot more structured. But with that being said, let's get started. Spoiler warning, guys. I will be talking about Kakegurui up to chapter 70, as well as the spin-off Kakegurui Twin, so if you haven't caught up with either of these series, then I advise you not to watch this video. But if you just don't give a fuck, let's keep going. Mary Saotome is the deuteragonist of Kakegurui, who's been attending Hikao Academy since her first year of high school. The quick profile that I have on Mary is that she's currently a second year, she's extremely smart, and she comes from a humble background. Unlike Yumiko, Mary gives you a different kind of MC, one that's more familiar because of her values and character growth. But for now, let's begin with the evolution of Mary. Mary started off her first year of high school as a relatively innocent girl, at least by Hikao Academy standards. Mary was new to the culture of Hikao Academy, inexperienced in gambling, and naive to the bloodthirsty school body. However, Mary quickly found out that in this cruel environment, led by Kiraru's pet system, it is not a place built for the meek. Thus, Mary had to adapt. Like many times, Mary had to learn the hard way, as it took getting hazed and humiliated by Kokoro for her to begin her transformation. The catalyst for Mary's maturation was her first taste of victory. It allowed her already slightly pompous attitude to grow exponentially. The more Mary won gambles, the more her ego swelled. And the product of that is the Mary that we see in the first chapter of the main series. Very simply now, I'm going to cover the totality of Mary's personality, starting with her more negative tendencies. Mary is arrogant, cocky, boastful, smug. Any word synonymous with these adjectives describes her. When on the brink of winning a gamble, one of Mary's favorite hobbies is to laugh in her opponent's face while calling them stupid. Mary will also go into great detail on how exactly she beat your ass, just to let you know where you fucked up at, twisting a metaphorical knife in the wound. I'll expand on the roots of Mary's conceit later, but besides the showboating, Mary has also been shown to be a tad bit sadistic. Even though this angle of Mary hasn't resurfaced for a while, Pepperidge Farm remembers when Mary indulged in the pet system, degrading Suzui by using him as her personal footstool. And yes, this is supposed to be degrading, you fucking horny degenerates. On the positive note, contradicting my previous points on Mary, she's actually compassionate. Oddly enough, in spite of Mary's mean streak, she isn't heartless and has played hero in pivotal moments. For example, in Kakegurui Twin, Kokoro lost the exam gamble, failed to embarrass Mary, and consequently was bullied by her classmates. In turn, Mary stood up to her peers, redirecting everyone's venom towards her, which worked out to shield Kokoro from further shame, although Mary denies helping Kokoro like the tsundere she is. Another example is chapter 69 in Mary's gamble against Mio, in which Mio gave Mary the ultimatum of defeat or a victory stained in blood. Although Mary had her own reasons for wanting to win, she still chose defeat, willing to give up the match because she didn't want to let Mio die. And considering how evil Mio is, this required Gandhi levels of benevolence. Keeping the movement going, Mary is extremely smart both academically and streetwise. Mary was one of two first-year students in the Cherry Blossom class that got into Hikao Academy on a scholarship, which is a rare accomplishment. In grades, the only person who was proven to be better than Mary is Shimotsuki, who has a fucking photographic memory. Mary's wit is showcased via gambling as well, with her being able to see through schemes and create her own. This intelligence of Mary extends to more unorthodox street-savvy ways, like being able to read people. A small example is chapter 18, where Mary was able to immediately see through Sumeragi's intention to exploit Yumiko, accurately deducing her entire plan. Probably the most attractive side of Mary's character though is her underdog persona. Mary is someone who prevails over adversity time and time again, regardless of the roadblocks in front of her. Although we know how talented Mary is, that doesn't prevent other characters from underestimating her, and that right there is the origin of Mary's arrogance. As I said at the start of this video, Mary has a humble upbringing. She is not a spoiled wealthy kid like the majority of Hikao Academy. Therefore, people look down on her for being relatively poor. That sentiment was established even earlier in Mary's life by her parents, who wanted Mary to essentially leech off the rich by buttering up to Suzora. Amongst those condescending surroundings, Mary resolved to be a winner, so when she does prove herself, it shows in a form of conceit. The chip on Mary's shoulder also comes from herself, as she has a bit of an inferiority complex. Mary takes plenty of L's, resulting in self-doubt, as she is constantly reflecting on her mistakes and questioning if she is good enough compared to others. This is most apparent when Mary measures herself against Yumiko, who she sees as a tier above herself. However, Mary's pursuit to stand on equal footing with Yumiko is evidence of her tenacity. No matter how many times Mary gets knocked down, she will bounce back stronger than ever, proven by her track record after her terrible loss to Yuriko, because since then, fun fact, she hasn't lost another gamble. The last quality of Mary's personality I'll expand on draws from all the good in her, which is her admirableness. While Mary has her haters, she also has her supporters, who gravitate towards her because she's smart, a great gambler, dependable, and kind. At least to her friends. In the case of Mary, Yukimi seems to be fond of her, Musubi became infatuated with her, and Suzora has literally called Mary her Prince Charming. The basis of their affection pointed to Mary's cool presence. Since cool isn't a crystal clear adjective, I believe a more accurate description of Mary is that she is a natural leader that people wish to follow, which is why she continues to accumulate a bigger fan base, or, depending on how you look at it, her own harem. Closing the tab on Mary's personality, the next topic I want to cover is Mary's drive. Mary's overarching goal is to be, in her words, a winner, which I think means being successful in all facets, like school, gambling, and life in general. With great ambition comes great resolve, as Mary is prepared to sacrifice plenty for her aims. To be a winner, Mary has bet outrageous amounts of money, her chastity, and her own livelihood, which is pretty profound considering how much Mary values those things. In contrast to Yumiko, who can bet anything without batting an eye, Mary doesn't like taking unnecessary risks, so when she wagers her life or whatever it may be, the effect of a loss is much more devastating to her. One of the best examples is Mary after her loss to Yuriko. We've seen a usually confident and braggadocious Mary break down, being reduced to a catatonic state. But again, Mary even taking that risk with Yuriko is a testament to her resolve to be a winner. I also believe that Mary's willingness to use dishonorable methods to win gambles is further verification of her resolve. Although the idea is hypocritical on Mary's end, she doesn't enjoy cheating and gambling, at least when she's on the receiving end of it, so her resorting to using those tactics shows how bad she wants to win. Mary also has other more specific objectives that falls under the umbrella of being a winner, like freeing Suzora from Pet Ship, maintaining her gambling den, and now currently becoming student council president. From what I remember, Mary hasn't explicitly said why she wants to become president, but I can speculate some of her reasons. For one, becoming president of Hikawa Academy aligns with Mary's goal of being a winner, as in chapter 34, Terano explains that holding the position of student council president means having rule over the nation. Secondly, becoming president would give Mary the power to abolish the house pet system. Even though Mary denounces having any heroic ideals, I believe that after her mortifying experience as a house pet, she now wishes to get rid of that system. Lastly, the biggest reason I personally believe that Mary wants to become president is to once again prove herself. Chapter 36 is the first chapter that we see Mary consider aiming for the spot of student council president, but chapter 43 is where she outright declared her aspiration to Yumiko, which is important because Mary sees Yumiko as a rival. Mary feels inadequate in comparison to Yumiko. She questions if Yumiko even wants to play against her, and this thought is exasperated by Yumiko's intense desire to gamble Kirari. I believe in Mary's mind, becoming president would be a step to force Yumiko to pay attention to her instead of Kirari. In a way, it's a weird sign of jealousy, but more so, it's the victory Mary craves to satisfy her ego. Finally, the last aspect of Mary's character I want to cover is her values. It's very simple and a little cliche, but the things Mary values are friendship, trust, and loyalty. In Kakegurui Twin, you can see firsthand how much Mary cares for her friends by how much she does to protect them. Trust is also something Mary puts heavy stock in, which we saw by her expressing gratitude towards Suzora and Yukimi, as well as Suzui in her gamble with Miri and Mio. Where we saw loyalty have worth with Mary was in her lecture to Musubi. In this talk, Mary was displeased with Musubi's fickleness in choosing the girl to date in a coupling gamble, saying, quote, To you, anyone was fine, and that pisses me off the most. If you want to get a girl, prove you're dedicated to her alone. And that about does it for my Mary Saotome character recap. What I enjoy about Mary is the fact that she is a very flawed character that isn't a saint by any means, but has good qualities like her compassion and iron will. And I love the underdogs. Mary is my second favorite character in the series, and although I had Yumiko in front by a lot early in Kakegurui, after reading Twin, Mary has the potential to eclipse Yumiko. But until then, Yumiko out. All right, people, that pretty much wraps up my thoughts on Mary. I actually want to do a poll on who you like better, Yumiko or Mary. Let's settle this here and now. But guys, that is it for this video. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Satsuki the Savage, out.
Yeah, Mary stats in this motherfucker. Y'all already know how we rockin', man. Hey, listen, tell your hoe to meet me at my hotel, and all the hoes gonna tell, cause I put these hoes under this spell, man. Like a mage or a magician, you know? I got hoes and hoes and hoes and hoes, hoes and hoes and hoes and hoes. I got a lot of bitches. I got a lot of bitches. Roll call, attention hoe, I got a hoe named Yumiko, a hoe named Maora, a hoe named Ririka, a hoe named Suzora, a hoe named Yukimi, a hoe named Musubi. Who said I don't got bitches? 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 Gamble like a vet, taking all the riches. I'm not a house pet, but I wash it like some dishes. Stroll in casinos, act like you know me. Oh, it's Mary Stats, Mary Saotome. Pimp without a cane, sent without a brain. I got these hoes that did it like my last name was Jane. Fuck nigga, I just playing. Fuck nigga, I just playing.
Am I dying to live, or am I living to die? Living a lie, with my hands stressed out, see I'm stressed out.